high. Even in the conditions of Moscow winters, which are distinguished by abundant precipitation of reagents on occasion, and just like that, only decorative elements of the body suffer. It is, of course, chrome. But don't get upset. In the future, they can be protected by covering with a film or treating them after washing with a special agent. The most modest 204 horsepower crossover engine has a small resource of the chain, sprockets, and timing tensioner, which can last less than 100,000 kilometers. It all depends on the driving style. The V6 3.5 engine is upset by oil leaks in the area of U200B. U200B oil heat exchanger. Strongman M278 with 435 horsepower has one unfortunate flaw: it has a high heat load, due to which scuffing can appear in the cylinders, even with small runs. For example, at 50,000 kilometers, the owner of such versions needs to monitor his driving style and not overload a cold engine, limiting the game of muscles also on a well-warmed engine. More often, the driving style of Russian Mercedes owners is such that bullying in this engine appears on runs of 100 to 170,000 kilometers if you exclude aggressive driving, for the sake of which, however, they buy crossovers with such a motor, change the oil more often, which, of course, improves heat transfer, do not save on fuel quality and keep the radiator clean. Then you cannot be afraid of scuffing. Then, maybe, prefer a not-so-powerful M276 engine with 333 horsepower? Its main problem is the rapid wear of the camshaft clutch. By the way, this is also possible on the M278 engine described above. Diesel units prove to be more reliable, in particular because they do not suffer from stretching of the timing chains. But you must always monitor the quality of the fuel poured into the tank. Otherwise, problems cannot be avoided. The weak point of the 3-liter turbo diesels was the intake manifolds. The reliability of the motor can be imagined by the fact that this happens, on average, with runs of 150,000 kilometers. The 2.2-liter OM651 engine has only a problematic pump, which can start to leak, play, and whistle. Automatic machines turned out to be very reliable, but, again, subject to high quality and timely service. 9G-tronic, like 7G-tronic, are sensitive to oil condition. It is recommended to change it every 60,000 kilometers at least, if not more often. But if you do not tighten it, then the boxes pass 300,000 kilometers to extend the service life. You can put an additional external cooling radiator. The Achilles heel of the all-wheel drive system was the outboard bearing of the drive shaft and the engine crankcase. Due to off-road adventures, which are not excluded on this crossover, the bearing can rust, after which it wedges. Just rust threatens only to replace the bearing itself. If it jams, then you will have to change the oil pan. The rear air suspension cylinders usually last 3 to 4 years, but they can fail more often, depending on the operating conditions. Servicemen do not insist on original cylinders, so you can replace them. There are no complaints about the quality of the Mercedes-Benz GLE interior. After every cleaning, it is as good as new. When it comes to electronics, as with other modern cars, the complexity of the circuits can lead to glitches. With their rarity, they are so diverse and unique that they cannot be considered a disadvantage. As in smartphones, glitches are reset when systems are rebooted, or they can be reset at the service during diagnostics. After examining the weaknesses of the Mercedes-Benz GLE, it seems that one should prefer either the 333 horsepower petrol version, where the vehicle tax may be the main problem, or the 204 horsepower turbo diesel, which cannot be called a lighter. If you know of other breakdowns or malfunctions, then tell us about it in the comments. Your review can help others when choosing a used car.